Jordan, with you in particular, I always see you quite vocal when you're talking about things like bullying and online behavior that can be really negative for people, especially using your own platforms to do that. Why is it important to you?
It's important because I know a lot of people suffer from it. I've got kids of my own, when they grow up, I'm sure when they're on social media, I don't want them to have to experience some of the stuff that I see that goes on now. But obviously teammates, players across the league, yeah, it does affect us, and I do feel like we need to try to make change and try and help educate people in this area, and try to make it a safer place for people to go on and express themselves, because social media can be good for so many things. And I know we're focused on the negative here, but we're just trying to make it safer so everybody can go on there, express themselves, and not have people abusing them online and feel as though they can easily do that, really. So accountability is a big thing. And of course, the platforms can do more across the board to help with that. But ultimately, until that changes, I think people are still suffering. So that we still need to try and help them people now. It's happening now, and I don't think it's going to be tomorrow when the social media platforms sort of do something about it. It might take a long period of time, year, 2 years, 3 years, however long it may take. But in the short term, I think it's down to us to try and help and educate people on how to be better digital citizens, if you like, online, and the consequences it can have on people, really.
Tell us what Hope United is.
Well, Hope United is something that BT has created. It's a diverse team of footballers across the 4 home nations coming together to unite and give the nation sort of the digital skills we need to tackle with online hate. Really, that's the gist of it, and that's the idea behind it. I think it can be really effective and helping educate people and helping educate the nation on social media abuse, not only for the abusers, but just in terms of making that environment a lot safer and just a better place to be on, and let people feel comfortable and being able to express themselves on there. Because like I say, it can do a lot of good. It can help a lot of people, and that's why I sort of went down the route of the thing I done, the campaign I done with Cyber Smile. It was to try and do that and help, and Hope United is very similar in that sense.
For the people that don't know and haven't seen those clips on your social media, tell us a bit about that campaign and the sort of people that you came across.
The Cyber Smile was a really good campaign, actually. Scott, the founder, I spoke to directly, and who created it. I won't obviously go into details of why, but he told me why. It's obviously a personal reason, so I don't want to say that, but I'm sure he would be open to letting people know, and people probably already know. But he gave us a bit of background on why he sort of created Cyber Smile. And yeah, I related straight away, and we thought it was a good campaign and a good thing to do to try to help people understand what's going on, to educate people, to show people actually there is somewhere to go if you need help. And I think it was a really good campaign. I know a lot of the big numbers you look at, and it's great that people are engaging and see the posts and stuff like that, and the big numbers. But when I actually spoke to him, the smallest number for me was the most important, which was, I think, was around 40 to 50 people during the campaign got basically sent to basically they call it like crisis help, which is people that are really deeply suffering with abuse, whether that's online or not. But yeah, there was 40, 50 people that got crisis help, and to me that it struck a little bit of a nerve to think, well, if we didn't do this campaign, would them 40 to 50 people possibly be here now? And then when I spoke to Scott about that, that really made us feel like we did a really good thing. And yeah, that's the most thing I was proud about, really, to help them 40 or 50 people that are in desperate need of help, for them to then get that help meant a lot to me, and I'm sure it did Scott as well.
Hope United, it's basically, it's not just about, as you said earlier on, it's not just about football, is it, and football players, because we know how much you guys are experiencing it, because it's very clear for us all to see, but it doesn't just have to be to help footballers or to stop hate against them, does it?
No, this is definitely not just in football. This is across the board on social media, full stop. You know, I think you've seen that with Cyrus Smile. I think it helped a lot of people around the world. You know, it's not just in the UK. And there were stories from, I think there were stories from America and things like that. So that, yeah, it's a worldwide thing. It can help anybody that is on social media. And like I said, it's just about making it a safer place and a better place for everyone to be on, because we all know it has so many good things about it and so many positive things about it. But at the same time, there's people also suffering on there, and we need to try and reduce that as much as possible. I'm not saying we can get the platforms or we can eradicate it completely, but I think it can be a lot better than what it is at the minute.
At the moment, I've seen the team members in your team making up Hope United, and there are some quite heavy hitters in there as well. Can you tell us a few of the names?
Yeah, there is, like you say, there is a few big players, if you like, heading up the campaign and being involved, which is great. You know, just it helps with the reach and getting it out to people across the nation, really, and in the 4 home nations. So yeah, hopefully it's a really, really positive campaign. I'm sure it will be. I'm proud to be a part of it, and hopefully it just keeps driving change within this social media abuse we keep talking about. And I think we're responsible. Everybody's responsible to trying to make change, as well as the platforms on top of that. And hopefully together we can do that sooner rather than later.
Some of those names, Jesse Lingard's in there alongside you, Marcus Rashford, Gareth Bale, your teammate Andy Robertson, Lucy Bronze, Demi Stokes. Your manager as well is Rio Ferdinand. So it doesn't get much bigger than that. It's great, isn't it? And it should really be seen as a really positive thing, even though it's trying to tackle something that can be absolutely dreadful. This is really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I've done something with Hope United with Lucy the other day, so it was brilliant to speak to her and get her thoughts on it as well, and what she sort of sees and what she thinks. So that was really good. I enjoyed that. But like you say, all the other big names, it's brilliant to come together, and it's brilliant from BT to create this campaign and use people's platforms and people's reach to try to make change. So fingers crossed it goes well. And like I say, I'm just proud to be involved in it.
We're going to see a few things coming out over the course of the next few weeks around the Euros, before the Euros. So ultimately, the guys that I just described there, you involved as well, there's going to be a series of tech tips, so BT tech tips, basically. Tell us what those tech tips hopefully are going to do. Hard to say that.
See, it's a little bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Tech tips. So you've just had to see it twice there. I had to do it about 50 times the other day on the set, and honestly, my tongue was just all over the shop. Me and Lucy had a laugh with that because it was a tongue twister.
Really?
But no, yeah, there's some tech tips on there for the digital citizens, we'll call them, to just to give them some pointers on what they can do to reduce that that abuse that they may be suffering, or to try not to, if you don't want to see it, or you try to reduce what you can and can't see. So yeah, there'll be some tech tips on there for people to educate themselves on.
Yeah, that now. I need a little bit longer with it. I really do. I've read it a few times. I've never said it out loud, so now I really
Trust us, there was a few times I had to redo the line. Put it that way.
It's interesting talking to Lucy Bronze as well, because I've noticed that obviously footballers get a lot of stick, but in the women's game, it seems to be so much more amplified.
Yeah, and again, it was good for me to speak to her, and get her thoughts and stuff as well. So yeah, I definitely agree. You know, it can be amplified in the women's game, but she was brilliant. You know, she was really good. She's obviously from up north as well. Um, she said she lost that accent, but obviously when I was talking to her, it was sort of coming back slightly, and it was started getting back there. So she wasn't too happy about that. But no, it was great to speak to her and get her thoughts, because I'm sure not only her, but she sees a lot of our teammates that suffer with abuse online as well. So it was interesting, and it was good to speak to her about it.
For you, does it feel like, do you have any experience in terms of players around your dressing room, being a captain and being one of the senior members now, and having to almost take that role of putting an arm around people's shoulders and maybe giving them some advice? Do you ever do that in terms of online hate with your own dressing room?
Well, it's happened more than a few occasions, but it's happened quite a lot this season. I would say to quite a few of the lads. Now I know some of the lads probably won't even think about it, but I think a lot of the younger lads, you know, who is new to coming into the team, who maybe not have experienced something like that before, that's where I was a little bit more worried about, really. But to be fair to them, they handled it brilliantly. They've got the support from me, the rest of the lads, and also the club, the manager, the staff around them have been brilliant. So yeah, we controlled it very well in house, and like I say, there's so many good people around them that if there was a problem, they would definitely be able to get help or speak to someone straight away. But fortunately, they dealt with it very well. And I don't want to mention names, but I'm sure it was widely documented at the time with some of the young lads. So yeah, I've experienced it. A lot of players will experience it, and it's just about dealing with it the best way you can. And again, just trying to help educate and make change in this area, because I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. But we just need to try to keep reducing it all the time.
Aside from things like Hope United and other things that you've been involved with, we had the boycott as well from social media. You mentioned at the start of this interview that more could be done, not by normal users or footballers, but actually by the powers in authority. How much could they be doing, do you think?
Well, it's difficult, you know, because I feel as though they can, and I think they know they can do more. But at the same time, I can't really control that. You know, I'm not going to ring. I can't speak directly to the owner of Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. Because ultimately, what I see or anyone else says, it needs to be more of a government thing. It needs to be a lot bigger and a lot more expansive than me or a few people. So it's a little that sort of is out of my control. As I say, I can try and push and I can try and help make change and educate people, which is why I've done the Cyber Smile thing, and Hope United and stuff like that. And I think that is trying to educate and help people. But at the same time, I just hope the platforms do more and do realise how big this is. I think the boycott was a good example of that, and how many people actually did it, the whole of football across that weekend, really. So they can see it's a big thing, and hopefully they can do more and more over the next few months to try and help with that, really.
Well, good luck with it, Jordan. I mean, on paper, not just as part of Hope United, but those names would make up a brilliant football team. So, and with Rio as the manager,
I know.
Not sure.
I said that. I said if you get any more good players, I'm not going to get in the starting 11 here.
I'm just
So
credentials, Rio's coaching credentials. I'm not sure how good they are. So if you wanted to switch around, someone better. Jordan, thank you very much. Good luck with Hope United.
Oh, thank you.